everyone, and welcome to one more episode of AWS Dev Tips. I am Rafael Ranieri, OutSystems MVP Tech Lead and AWS Certified here at Phoenix DX. Today, we will talk about Amazon Lex. Amazon Lex is a technology that helps you build conversational interfaces like chatbots, using text or even speech, which means it recognizes speech and understands language. A fun fact is that it's the same service that powers Amazon Alexa, which also means that if you use the service for your chatbot, you will be able to implement most of the features Alexa has. Let's try to take a deeper look and understand how the Amazon Lex actually works. If you go to the AWS page for Amazon Lex, you will be able to find some more information about the service, how it works, some use cases where you can apply the service, some customers, and even a very good documentation on how to get started. They even have a very nice blog post on some best practice for creating Amazon Lex interactions. In a nutshell, they try to explain how the service works. They start with a very specific terminology about the service, so things like utterance, which are the phrases the user says to your live bot to start an interaction. They explain what an intent is, which is basically the demands the user had. We have also the slots, which are parameters for the specific intent the user is trying to achieve. And finally, they also have a very nice diagram explaining how the service works. So here you can see, for instance, that everything starts with the user. The end user sends an utterance, which is normally a phrase, trying to say what he or she is trying to do. The service, by its turn, tries to map this utterance for an intent. If this intent have any slots or input parameters, they will also try to map these specific variables for the specific slots we have. And finally, they will do some action at the end. So they can call, for instance, an API or a Lambda function or whatever is available for them to use. If we scroll down a little bit, we can also see some examples on what to do or don't do. For instance, this would be an intent with a lot of different utterances. They recommend you to split as much as possible the different utterances to avoid conflicts, right? So here, for instance, if the intent is update personal details, you should have very specific phrases that will map for this specific intent and avoid having things that could conflict with different actions, right? You can also see some examples on how to use the slots. So a very nice example here is the order flowers intent. You can see, for instance, that we have the utterance, I want to buy flowers, that is mapped for order flowers. This will probably trigger an API or a Lambda function that will send a request for a third-party application, for instance, to buy some flowers. But if you want to buy a specific type of flowers, you can even implement slots. So if you have some slots here, for instance, in this utterance saying that I want to buy a specific type of flowers, this service would know which type the user is trying to buy and would be able to do a specific action for these different parameters. So with all those features, you could very easily achieve a very advanced scenario for your chatbots, like triggering a specific API or a specific action at the end of your interaction. Of course, it's only optional. You can very easily as well just answer the user with a simple text or simple options to do something, or with a FAQ, for instance, things like that. And the best of it all is that OutSystems already provides an out-of-the-box component for you to integrate with the service. So if you are interested, you only have to download it from Forge. They also provide a very nice video with more detailed explanation on how to implement that. The Forge component is very straightforward to use as well. So give a shot if you think it's worth it. And that's it for today. Did you already know about the service? Let us know in the comments and keep tuned for the next episode of AWS